You often may hear things like, just be yourself. But what does it really mean to you? Have you ever tried answering this question? I'm pretty sure you tried at some point of your life, and that's why you're here. This caught your attention, some reason. So let's try to think about that together. Who am I? That's the very valid question, right? Somehow it's quite difficult to answer. Why is it difficult? Because somehow the consciousness has a tendency to answer more practical and simple questions like, where do I get the job? How do I make money? How do I stay healthy? This is something that practically it's more comforting to answer and to deal with, because the questions like, who am I? It's related to our core. And that's like the pillar of our whole existence and our whole building. Let's say like I'm the building, right? So that's the whole structure. Like the whole structure collapses if there is no idea of who am I. So sometimes people tend to brush it off and just reply with something generic, like I am a woman, I am American, I'm father. So these are related to the first conception that we're going to look to. There are two that I want to go through today. They're like more general, like a general ways to see yourself. So the first one would be more related to understanding that I am the body. So when you think I'm the body, what does it include? That includes relating even to your own mind or your own role in society. Like, okay, you have a company, you're a boss at the company, you're a father, also you can be a friend, right? So these are the roles. But what really beyond that? That's hard to tell, because even if you feel yourself to be the body, when you just sit alone, you just replay the roles, right? And you try to navigate through different roles in your life, because you have several, like a father, like as I said, as a boss or son. So which of them is really you? That's a really interesting question then. And let's say someone criticizes you, tells you, let's say you're fat or you're ugly. That really hurts, and sometimes to some people it may even make them so much depressed that will stop them from moving forward for a long time. And the reason is because they believe that I am this body, I am the way I look. So they feel like, or we all feel actually, that I don't belong, I have no place here, this place is cruel. To some extent it could be true. Sometimes people act cruel, that's the real situation here. But the danger, the complexity of relying on the principle of being your body, that's what creates a lot of anxiety. And as we see nowadays, a lot of people suffer from anxiety. So the core of it is self-identification with the idea I am the body. All the wars, all the conflicts, they're based on one simple understanding: I am the body. And there is different conception, which relates more with the idea I am the soul. And even though it may sound a bit generic as well, because many people say I'm the soul, but do you really relate to yourself as the soul? That's another question. What is the soul? According to Vedic scriptures, the soul is a particle of the absolute truth. Some people call it God. There are many different names for one common source. So there is no need to argue on that. And that's not the point of this video. The point here is when you place your faith, when you place your identity into something very changeable and vulnerable, like the idea I am the body, it can be very difficult at some point. When you place the idea into something more stable, it actually give you the real direction in life, even though it may be harder to find or realize, and it's not something on the surface. And the journey realizing that can be somehow rocky, but it's totally worth it. However, if you rely on the conception I am the body, sometimes it may seem easy at the beginning because you just found your answer. But at some point, you may find that the foundation of your building just collapsed because you cannot rely on this anymore. So here are the thought for today, and I just wonder, how do you feel about this question? How do you feel about yourself? How do you think? Do you live your life according to the first understanding, like I'm the body, or you relate more to the idea I am the soul? And how does it show? Let me know. Share your comments.